Welcome guys, David Nussbaum at WheelsBoutique here in rainy Miami, Florida. Right next to me I have the brand new Lamborghini Huracan Evo rear wheel drive. Now an interesting thing about this Huracan Evo is depending if it's the all-wheel drive or the rear wheel drive version of the car, the design here on this front bumper is a little bit different. So this is a dead giveaway for those that are really Lamborghini enthusiasts on if this version of Evo is a rear wheel drive or an all-wheel drive car. Now you're also going to be thinking, well, that's a pretty aggressive front bumper, and that's because this car here, in addition to wheels, in addition to lowering springs, has a 1016 Industries carbon fiber body kit. Now, 3 pieces in total, and I'll go over all of them very briefly here. So first, starting off with the front bumper area, then the side skirts, then the rear diffuser. So let me kneel down real quick here. This is a beautiful forged carbon. Now, a lot of people saw forged carbon for the first time when Lamborghini released the Performante. Obviously, forged carbon has been around for quite some time, but that really brought it to the public eye, and it's a really cool design over the traditional weaves that you'll see on carbon. And so what 1016 offers is this forged carbon for the Lamborghinis and for a few other cars as well. If you like the traditional weave of carbon, they actually also offer this design with the traditional weave. So you've got a lot of options from 1016. This little front splitter area connects to the bodywork of the car, to the front bumper area. And a really cool design of it is that this is a floating aero piece. So as you can see, my hand underneath is disappearing, and you'll see it from the different angles. This does a really good job of allowing airflow to go through the car, and a little bit of downforce as well from this piece. Extremely cool piece. I think it looks really good with the overall aggression of what a Lamborghini is. So then when we move down to the side skirts, the side skirt has the same exact sort of feature to it. So before, you would have your little LP 580-2 or 610-4 badge here. But since this comes over this little area here, we were able to remove that. And you see how beautiful this side skirt is, again, with the forged carbon. This looks more pronounced and more floating than the front area. And I like how it ties in together with that front area. So the design language of the kit from 1016 is uniform. So there's not like a clash of designs. The front works equally as good with the side as it does with the rear diffuser, which we'll jump back over to in a minute here. But before I do, we must discuss the Anrky performance wheels. Now, I don't believe that this model has been featured on the channel yet. This is from their X series that was released last year, and it's one of the 5 3-piece models that they had in the X series, and one of the rarer ones that's chosen. And the reason that I think that is just my opinion. I think that this is a really aggressive style that only will work on aggressive vehicles like a Lamborghini. I think if you do a more classy Porsche kind of body style, this might be too aggressive for that. But I've sold this specific wheel to a client in Idaho with a Performante, but this is the first time I've actually seen this wheel in person on cars. So this is the S3-X2. So S3-X2, there's also a 1-piece version, which is the S1-X2. But this one here is, of course, the 3-piece. You've got satin black for the center, you've got gloss black for the outer lip, and you also have gloss black for the inner barrel, so that gives it a really good contrast. Now, kind of a cool story about this car. When this client ordered this car, he originally ordered it in purple, but Lamborghini was taking too long with the purple. So I actually originally had these assembly bolts in a polished purple, which I thought would be really cool. But he said, hey Dave, I'm canceling the purple one. I don't know what color car I'm getting now, so let's just go back to a standard silver assembly bolts, which is what we did here. And I think it looks really nice. I would have loved to have seen it maybe with the green assembly bolts, add a little bit of flair to it. But other than that, I mean, this entire design is pretty cool. You can kind of see a star design, which would be similar to their S3-X3 model, but then all of a sudden you have this extra spoke that jets out. Then you have the floating spoke design, so lots of holes, lots of cool design language. This is basically the baby of the director of Anrky Wheels, which is John Gutierrez. That was like his bread and butter design wheel from the X series. I really like it. 21s in the rear, 20s in the front. But enough about the wheels. Let's talk about this diffuser. Again, forged carbon for the rear diffuser. Huge diffuser area. You've got the vents down here. It looks really nice all the way through underneath. This is probably my favorite piece from the bunch. It would have been excellent if they were able to add, again, another one of those floating spokes like the side skirts had or the front area had. But overall, I think this looks absolutely epic. And my favorite thing about these cars is, of course, the center exit exhaust. I'm trying to convince the client to maybe add the wing, because 1016 has two really cool wing designs. The first of them is kind of has a little bump and then it goes down. And the second one is more very similar to the Performante wing, where you've got the uprights really tall and just kind of like a straight edge wing. Again, both in traditional carbon weave and also the forged carbon. But for now, I think that the customer is gonna really like how low it sits with the Novitec Sport Springs, with the wheels. And if you look at it from the side profile, you've got carbon all the way on the bottom, carbon, and then you've got the green on top. So perhaps the wing may not look as good as it does now. I think it gives this illusion that it's really low to the ground, which it is, but again, the carbon on the underneath makes it look even lower. And let's not forget, Marvin behind the camera loves this little duck wing, which is kind of cool as well. But again, I think I would prefer the larger wing. It would be interested to see if he adds that wing. And if he does, I will, of course, upload this video and update this video with new photos and things like that. So let us know what you think in the comment section below. What do you think about the wheels? I'm really intrigued on how you guys like the really aggressiveness of that wheel with the overall ethos of a Lamborghini, which is aggression. So let us know if you want to see some more of the 1016 carbon kits on other cars. We do have videos on our channel like a Urus and a Ferrari 488 that has other 1016 parts. And then once I am able to convince him to finalize on an exhaust, this car will be back on the channel with that exhaust note so you can hear before and after.